put up our first watch out for motorcycle signs in front of the Harley dealerships. They purchased these. Our hope is to bring awareness to motorcycles on the road. Our organization, which is the New Mexico Motorcycle Rights Organization, has been made aware of 96 motorcycle crashes since mid-March. So we're hoping that these signs will help drop the amount of crashes, help prevent fatalities and injuries. The City Council has approved us putting up these signs within the Albuquerque area, and we're working with the Department of Transportation to put them up in the statewide. We're hoping the DOT will move a little bit quicker on these. They've kind of promised this for the last 2 years and kind of held back. So we're hoping that now putting these out in the Albuquerque area will push DOT to put these out within our state highways.
Rick?
Thank you. Well, we want to thank the Harley dealership for stepping forward and taking advantage of a situation that unfortunately is not aware to all the motorists in New Mexico, and that is that motorcyclists are out there, and if we look out for motorcyclists, that alone is going to have a significant drop in fatalities and accidents. And so, combined with the training that is now going on within the state of New Mexico, the statutes, but that statute also does two things. It says we have to have training and awareness. This is the awareness part. This is just as important as the training part. The fact that people watch out for motorcycles. When you look out for motorcycles, you reduce accidents. When you reduce accidents, you reduce fatalities.
Thank you, Representative. It's an honor to be here today. This issue is very personal to me. Growing up here in Albuquerque, my dad was involved in a motorcycle accident when we were young kids, and there was a 50-50 chance that he would never walk again. You know, fortunately for the doctors and the family, ourselves, you know, we got him back up and he was out walking the streets again, and he got back to work. But I mean, that was very near and dear to my heart. And then a few years later, I had a first cousin that was killed in a motorcycle accident in Wyoming. And when Annette Torres approached me and said, you know, Ken, what can we do and how long do you think this will take? I said, let's see if we can get this expedited as quickly as possible, because the number of motorcycle accidents continues to grow here in the Albuquerque area, and it's very problematic and it's very concerning. So I think these signs are going to be a tremendous asset in keeping our motorcyclists safe. You know, we as motorists do not own the road. You know, we are part of the roadway, and you know, we need to share that road with bicyclists and motorcyclists. I think it's important that we keep them safe. But I think it's important that, you know, we get the word out, we educate the public. You know, we tell people don't drink and drive, but also we need to make people aware to please, if you've got your cell phones, do not text and talk. That's been a lot of the causes, I think, in why we're seeing increases in motorcycle accidents, because everybody has a cell phone nowadays, and we have laws that prohibit it, but the fines are so low that, you know, people just tend to continue to abuse it. But again, I'm just pleased to be around and be here with so many motorcyclists here today, and I know that they are very concerned about their own safety and keeping our streets safe. But it's important that we are aware of those motorcyclists that are on the streets today, and bicyclists also. And I think we've got somebody that wants to speak on behalf of the of Harley Davidson. And I want to also personally say thank you to Harley Davidson for making the investment. What they've done is they've paid for the signs. The city of Albuquerque, through some of my set-aside funds, have paid for the installation of the signs, and we will continue to do so to get the remainder of the signs up here in Albuquerque. Who is going to be speaking on behalf of?
Do I need a microphone?
If you're standing close.
Stand right.
Stay close enough to you.
Sure enough.
Yeah, we've teamed up with Annette and her. And sorry, get a little nervous. But we train. Let me start by saying this: we train about 800 people a year to ride motorcycles safely in Albuquerque, and we continue to have a commitment to training motorcyclists and making them safe on the roads. And this just adds to that. This keeps them safe on the roads. These signs are great. We have cars go by our dealerships very fast. Motorcycles are pulling out all the time, and it's nice to have some safety for our riders here in Albuquerque, and we greatly appreciate it.
And as I said earlier, I thanked Harley initially, and now I want to thank the city of Albuquerque for stepping forward and doing what is right, and saying we recognize the fact that there are motorists out there that aren't aware of the fact that there are motorcyclists out there. When we team the two up together, we're going to reduce fatalities, we're going to reduce accidents.
So question, since this is obviously a long-standing issue, you mentioned your dad and other family members, why now?
I think this is just long overdue for the community. I mean, there's a 35% greater chance that motorcyclists will be in a fatality than a motorist in a vehicle. I mean, this should have been done many, many years ago, and I think the education is a key component. I think the signs are an addition to the key component, but I also want to thank the legislature for introducing a legislation to assure that anybody that purchases a motorcycle does have that additional training before they get on that bike. Because again, you know, there's so many distractions on the road, the radio, the cell phone, you know, people text messaging. We just feel with more and more cell phones that we've got to get those signs out there, and people need to be aware. But again, if people would just quit using their phones when they're on the road, I think it would be much safer for both motorists and bicyclists and motorcyclists.
And last question, somebody brought this up to my attention too. I mean, there's been so much done for bike safety and not motorcycle safety. Is that a disparity that you're hoping to fix now?
Well, I think that'll definitely help out. I think the signs are going to make a big difference. You know, and I also want to thank Mike Reardon from the Department of Municipal Development from the city of Albuquerque. So when we made that telephone call, Annette was with me in the office. I said, Annette, let me call Mike up. Let's see what we can get done quickly. Immediately, the DMD department got on this and started working directly through Annette. And I also want to thank Annette and the bicyclists that are here today, you know, for their concern regarding this initiative. We think it's important, and I feel it will reduce fatalities here in our community, across the state, and in Albuquerque.